Okay. All right, guys, welcome back. I had to have an intro like that. It's too exciting. All right, Godzilla trailer review. A lot to talk about. I don't want to make this video too long, but chances are it's going to be long. I saw the leak trailer last night. I didn't do a video about it because the quality wasn't that great, and I usually, if I see a trailer, I have to see it more than once, and I couldn't get over the guy just jizzing himself. It's like, him sitting there like, and I'm like, I don't really need to hear this shit. I'll just wait till tomorrow and watch the full-fledged and then do my review. So, but yeah, I did get to see it last night. It's like everybody suspected. It was going to be the second leak trailer. Now, just so you know, I know that once this video hits, there'll be comments in the bottom. Anyone who comes out and says, it's the second leak trailer, we already saw that, you dumb fucks, we weren't supposed to. So please build a bridge and get over it. If anyone makes a comment like that in the comments below, I'm going to remove it. This is all about the big G. The fact of the matter is that we got the trailer, obviously in excellent quality, and we got to see in more detail what it was that was leaked earlier in October 9th to be specific. Okay, so we see the Halo jump scene, which is phenomenal. It's a great scene. As they are jumping from the plane, they go through almost different sets of plumes of smoke. The closer they get to their destination, the darker it gets. You can get an idea of the amount of destruction that is being caused by Godzilla. And obviously, one of the things I saw that's making me very happy right off the bat is the destruction path. One of the things I mentioned to many of my viewers before on ODT, and many of my subscribers who have seen my live stream with Goji Fan 93 about a month ago, when we were doing a basic Q&A and interacting and talking with people, I wanted to see a path of destruction. I didn't want to see Godzilla's purpose to be destroying cities. I just want him to walk through the city as if he has a destination and he just happens to cause destruction because he's massive. It looks like that's what we're going to get, because when the Halo jump down, you see that obviously there are still buildings standing, but there's a path of destruction, and Godzilla is obviously trudging through the city. So that's a very, very encouraging sign for one of the things I wanted to see. In terms of how Godzilla looks, I mean, obviously it's still not a full-fledged picture, but nonetheless, I like what I see. I like what I see. His skin texture is much different than it was in the older movies. The older movies, he had like little almost like scales, and they were like a charcoal. This one, he seems to have almost like a somebody. I don't know if somebody said. I don't know who it was that said it. I think they said it on one of my video comments. Almost like an alligator. He looks almost like a gator. And I'm not saying that in a bad way. Like, I'm not saying, oh, he looks like a gator, but his skin texture, the way it looks, But again, it's from a distance. It's not as detailed as we're gonna get when we actually see the movie or a future trailer. So, bear with me. It's been a long couple of nights with the viral leak on Sunday, trying to decipher the code, the trailer leaking last night, and I've just spent the last couple of days up pretty late. But then from there, we cut to the scene of Bryan Cranston running down the hallway, looking through a mirror. Obviously, we know now, as speculated, that's Juliette Binoche on the other side. Very interesting scene, because at Shock to Drop with the Gareth Edwards interview back at Comic-Con, he said there is a very emotional scene between Juliette Binoche and Bryan Cranston. Obviously, in the movie, they're a married couple, so perhaps that's just a hint or tease at perhaps her demise, So, we don't know. We'll see. So then it goes from that, and it does little quick cuts, like you see Sally Hawkins, who's in the movie. She's I don't even think they have a name for her member yet, her character, but it's on Wikipedia. So and I've been there a couple of times, but I can't quite remember her character's name. Show a bunch of school kids running out, or what I'm assuming is school kids. Elizabeth Olsen hugging what I believe is her son in the movie. They show the infamous airport scene, but not with obviously the Mutos and Godzilla fighting. I think we're going to get that trailer later on. I think that trailer is probably the next one being edited, but I think that trailer is going to be leaked to the whole Muto website, because that website's still up. I don't think we've seen the end of videos popping up on that site. But again, this trailer just got released today. I'd say give it another 6 weeks to 2 months before you might get another one. I want to say maybe Super Bowl or mid-February to end of February. We're at December 10th now, so yeah, February 10th kind of makes sense when you think about it. So we might see one for the Super Bowl. We might see one shortly after. I'm gonna guess they're gonna do anywhere between 3 or 4 trailers leading up to the movie, with a lot of little commercial bits about 6 weeks before the movie. That's just a guess. Now, going through the trailer some more. Now, obviously, after they show the little clips and you see Ken Watanabe in a what looks to be a subterranean suit of some sort. Obviously, Bryan Cranston, we saw Sally Hawkins, Elizabeth Olsen, a couple of scenes of Aaron Taylor Johnson, pardon me, and the train scene that we saw in the second week trailer looks like something shredding it. It's a quick clip. Even when I slowed it down, I didn't quite make out, but obviously it is a monster. Could be Godzilla, linking it to the train wreckage that you see later on in this video and that you also saw in the concept trailer. So going forward from there, you see Aaron Taylor Johnson leaping from, leaping from something. Now it looks like a train. I see two different train things here going on. The city train that got ripped apart, and then if you remember, there's a scene where there's some army guys looking like they're about to go into a tunnel. Behind them is a freight train. A couple of flash scenes. And if you look at that scene with, excuse me, I'm literally fighting back yawns right now because I have gotten very little sleep. But and then later on, you see, I'm assuming is Aaron Taylor Johnson jumping off a train track, because if you look closely on the lower left, it looks like a train rail. So I'm assuming that's linked to the other one with the military guys and the freighter behind them. Finally, we get the scene of Elizabeth Olsen looking up. Then they cut to the concept trailer scene with Godzilla turning around, but this time it's really different. You get to see a good detail of his body. You literally see like debris falling off his back, falling on his dorsal fins, and then he turns around and he does his infamous roar, and that's pretty much the end of the trailer. Now, what can I take out of this? There's many things I can. I'm going to be dissecting this trailer left and right, making speculation videos. A couple of my subscribers have already made some excellent speculation. I don't know if anyone caught Bryan Cranston's breakdown of what Muto may mean and what he thinks it might be linked to. And it's not a source. He's just making his own speculation. But I read it, and it was incredibly interesting. I might have to go back and find it and maybe link it to you guys. But if you go to any one of my Godzilla videos, I'm trying to think which one it was. It was either the most, I think it was the most recent one that I posted about Godzilla's picture, and you could find it there. His name's Brian Crockett. Did I say Cranston a second ago? I did say Cranston, didn't I? I still got Godzilla on the mind. Brian Crockett, one of my subscribers, made a very, very good speculation breakdown of what he thinks Muto might mean and what these monsters might mean. Now, I went to GodzillaMovie.com. They gave a very short synopsis, and it sounds like the Mutos were created by men. The Muto is an organization, and monsters, they have a hand in play of creating the monsters. It's a very short synopsis, and then it goes into a breakdown of who was involved. I was very interested to see that Frank Darabont did not get a credit in that breakdown, even though he was involved in writing the story. So more stuff here. So the other thing I like that I saw that makes it to me more realistic is when you see Godzilla, he's got like a dust cloud surrounding him, which makes perfect sense. Unfortunately, and I hate to use it as a reference, but I'm just comparing it in terms of reality. I'm originally from New York. I was born in the Bronx. I was living in New York during the time of 9/11, and unfortunately, a very horrific event. And when those buildings came down, it left a wave of dust, and that's obviously because of the amount of debris that came from two very large buildings. So, just stating that as a basis for comparison in terms of the movie and the debris you see around him, that's actually very, very likely we're going to get a lot of that in the movie, because the more he trudges through a city and the more buildings he's knocking down, the more dust clouds he's raising, and they're only following his path because he's a he's huge. I mean, he is a huge monster. Towards the end, you can get a really, really good idea of the scale of that he's going to be in this movie. And he's moving forward. Oh, pardon me, I can't get these yawns to stop. If I get any of you guys to yawn, I'm sorry. He's moving forward, and because he's such a large monster and because he generates so much momentum, he's going to have a dust cloud following him. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see a lot of that. And I think the ending portion of the trailer is just an indication. The whole dust surrounding him. Obviously, they designed it as a silhouette traditionally to hide his image. But it's not too far from reality, because if you got something that big causing that much damage, all the dust and debris is going to follow his momentum. So I think that's another indication of just how realistic this movie is going to be. They're taking it very seriously. That was a very bleak trailer. I mean, the city was decimated. The sky was dark. The airport scene, I'm very interested to see. But I think the one thing that we really need to keep our eyes out for is the Muto organization. I'm starting to think that, and again, this is why I'm also with Brian Crockett on this, because this is something I thought about a long time ago, and it was just pure speculation. And a lot of people kept saying, oh, well, Legendary doesn't have the right to Toho monsters and blah, 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 and this and that. You know what? How do we know that for a fact? I'm starting to think that they're full of shit. I have a feeling that we just very well, while they might have said that the monster that Godzilla fought at Comic-Con was an arachnid type monster, it looks very original. That's all fine and well. But if you pay attention to all the things that have been going on over the last couple of months, revolving around the whole Mutos and the whole Godzilla thing, the toys that were up for pre-order, when you read the description, the Mutos are many different monsters. They say he's fighting 2 monsters in this movie, so my theory is he's going to fight one monster type that is identical to each other, and there's just a collective of them. And then I think he's going to fight one primary monster that is the end-all, be-all creation of the Muto organization. It sounds like maybe the Muto organization could be some sort of crazy terrorist group that have used genetics and things like that to kind of manipulate the creation of monsters, or manipulate certain animals that can grow to enormous sizes. Who knows? But I have a feeling that what we're paying attention to it's like a magic trick. You draw somebody's attention in one direction while the magic takes place somewhere else. Right now, we're all being drawn to this trailer. We're all being drawn to Godzilla, but I think the magic is on the Muto website. And I think that's something that we definitely need to pay attention to, because I have a feeling this Muto organization and the monsters behind it, which people have only gotten a glimpse at Comic-Con and we haven't really seen yet, I have a feeling there's going to be something special behind that we're not expecting. If you guys don't know, Yoshimitsu Banno was the actual person that started this whole thing. It was supposed to be a 3D movie for IMAX, a short that he wanted to create. To make a long story short, he ended up collaborating with some people at Legendary, and then that's how this film was born. For those of you who don't know, Yoshimitsu Banno is the director of Godzilla vs. Ghidorah, which I am going to be doing March of the King rewind review of that tomorrow. And basically, I'm not saying we're going to get the Smog Monster. I don't even think that's the monster we're going to get. He's very much involved in the picture. And my theory is that while we may not get a monster that might be directly tied to a Toho monster, I think we're going to get a monster that's very close in likeness, if not the monster itself. That's just my theory. I know there's going to be plenty of people down there that are going to say, oh, but Legendary said that. No, I know what Legendary said. It's been well documented, but I have a hard time believing anyone. To me, Hollywood is no different than the government. They'll tell you one thing one minute, and then when you watch the movie, you get something else. Michael Bay is notorious for that. He will come out and lie, and then once the movie comes out, whatever it was you speculated or heard, he very well ends up doing it anyway. But anyway, guys, again, a long-ass video. I'm sorry about that. It's just a lot going on with this trailer. I'm going to be doing more videos with Godzilla, obviously, in the coming weeks, because I'm sure more information is going to drop. It's as I predicted. I said that once Warner Brothers gets this thing rolling, I don't think they're going to stop. I think they're going to hit the ground running. They have. They've given us a lot to eat on, a lot to chew on this week. We got the viral event that's still probably active. You got the trailer out now. There's an official Godzilla movie website. I can almost assume that over the next coming weeks, we'll see more updates to the website. We might see more teasers on the Muto research facility website. I'm sure we'll get another trailer within the next 2 months. It's a fun time to be a G fan. This is what we've all waited for. This is what we've all wanted. So I'm hoping that this momentum carries us all the way through to the 2014 movie, where we can all rejoice. And let's all remember, and I'm going to let everybody know now, when you go watch the movie next year, 2014 in the theater, just bring an extra pair of underoos. All right? Thanks. See you guys next video. Motherfucking trailer! Okay. All right, guys, welcome back. I had to have an intro like that. It's too exciting. All right, Godzilla trailer review. A lot to talk about. I don't want to make this video too long, but chances are it's going to be long. I saw the leak trailer last night. I didn't do a video about it because the quality wasn't that great, and I usually if I see a trailer, I have to see it more than once, and I couldn't get over the guy just jizzing himself. It's like him sitting there like and I'm like I don't really need to hear this shit. I'll just wait till tomorrow and watch the full fledged and then do my review. So but yeah, I did get to see it last night. It's like everybody suspected. It was going to be the second leak trailer. Now, just so you know, I know that once this video hits, there'll be comments in the bottom. Anyone who comes out and says, it's the second leak trailer, we already saw that. You dumb fucks, we weren't supposed to. So please, build a bridge and get over it. If anyone makes a comment like that in the comments below, I'm going to remove it. This is all about the big G. The fact of the matter is that we got the trailer, obviously in excellent quality, and we got to see in more detail what it was that was leaked earlier in October 9th to be specific. Okay, so we see the Halo jump scene, which is phenomenal. It's a great scene. As they are jumping from the plane, they go through almost different sets of plumes of smoke. The closer they get to their destination, the darker it gets. You can get an idea of the amount of destruction that is being caused by Godzilla. And obviously, one of the things I saw that's making me very happy right off the bat is the destruction path. One of the things I mentioned to many of my viewers before on ODT, and many of my subscribers who have seen my live stream with GojiFan93 about a month ago, when we were doing a basic Q&A and interacting and talking with people, I wanted to see a path of destruction. I didn't